guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing really well. Apologies for the radio silence of the late few months. As some of you guys know, I've had another baby. I had a little boy, so I've been really busy with him and working and those sort of things. But anyway guys, I don't want to do these reviews without having some proper time with a device. So today we're going to be talking about the Black Diamond Storm 450. Now this is a dual fuel one. You have previously seen, if you haven't, check it out somewhere up here, I'll link it, for the Spot 250, I think this is, or 350, I can't remember. It's another really good one, and this one I've been using for a really long time and I really like it. But I have been looking at these Storm headlamps for quite some time now, and I've never pulled the trigger because originally these had 4 AAA cells, but now they've gone over to 3, which is it's a lot nicer, neater package. As you can see there, the older ones had a kind of a slightly thicker, different shape, and these are also dual fuel. So we've also got fitted in here the BD 1500, which is basically a USB rechargeable lithium cell. So it's really important for me because if you do get caught out in the wild somewhere, you can use your lithium, put that in your backpack, and then grab some faithful old AAAs and keep the light going. But so far in all of my testing, that's never failed me so far, so that's a really good sign. Now, going over the features here, it is a 450 lumen headlamp. It's got a really nice strap. They've actually made it a lot smaller, and it sort of tapers in there to the front of the light. It's a nice stretchy elastic. I do like the way their clips are. It's quite neat and tidy. You sort of put them together to make it smaller, and yeah, it just works really well, and it's really comfy on the head and just kind of looks nice, which is kind of important, kind of not. Now, going through the features, of course you've got white light, you've got like a multi-activity beam here, and compared to the Spot that's down there, this one is a little bit wider and it's a little bit more forgiving with a little bit less of a hot spot. So I think that's probably deliberate because that was called the Spot, and this one is the Storm. So in everything that I've used a lot in, it seems to be working really well. Top of the device here, you've got the that's the main on button, and if you press and hold it, it dims, and this is sort of the mode selector there, and you can press and hold them together. If I do that for you now, it will probably flash and it just shows that it's locked. If I press the buttons, nothing happens until I unlock it, so that's a really good feature that Black Diamond have. If I just press the mode button, the power on button, apologies, it will just go to the last used setting and light output. If I press the left button, it will cycle between the 3, and if you press and hold this, it gives you all your RGB colours. So press it once again, it goes to the sort of main beam. You'll notice there, if you see that as I change the mode, gives you a battery indicator there, and it'll disappear after a few seconds. But if you ever want to sort of check it, you've got the power tap feature, which it puts it on maximum, but if you press and hold it, it'll come back, and the actual light itself does flicker if I press and hold it again. So 3 flashes, full power. That's really useful because if you're out in the wilds again, you don't know what your battery is. You don't really want to take this off your hat or your helmet or whatever you're running it on. Just press and hold that button. Again, power tap there, really simple to use. You literally just touch it like that and you get the full blinding 450 lumen. What's really cool about that is that it will combine all of the lights at their maximum setting. So it's really crazy bright there, as you see, absolutely blinding. And then as soon as you touch it, it goes back to the setting. Now, to use the dimmer function really easily, we just press and hold, it goes up. It will give you a little pulse when it gets to the top and a pulse at the bottom. It doesn't sort of give you an impression when you get to the middle or anything like that, but it does dim consistently. So if you count a few seconds, you say 1, 2 or something, it'll get you roughly to the middle, and vice versa for all the other modes I've noticed. Press it again, same with this. You have power tap as well for all the colours, so that's maximum red, and I can press and hold it as well. On minimum, on the certainly in the coloured light and also this very wide beam white, the lowest output is really good. So your light signature isn't going to annoy anybody. If we look here at the side profile when it's on, when you're out walking, very easy to turn the power tap on. So it's nice if you're using gloves or touch sensitive gloves, does respond quite well. And it's this whole panel here, this whole front fascia here, that's got power tap. Not at the top there, but definitely here. So that's quite cool. Now what else have we got? So that's the main beam there. It's certainly less focused than the Spot. We've got power tap there, of course, and then maximum. If you press it again, you'll get maximum with one lamp, so that's quite cool as well. If you just want an absolute beast of a throw, you've got that there. And press and hold. Now another really cool feature they've sort of introduced, let's turn that off for a second, otherwise we're going to keep power tapping it, is the actual way this angles itself. Now traditionally with other ones, I'll quickly show you on my Spot, you get this really kind of crazy sound there, and you'll notice it's got similar sort of features with the way it works. But yeah, you can see there you've only got a certain amount of sort of tactile angle adjustment. Now to be honest with you, that's absolutely fine, but there are some situations where you find yourself not really wanting that. You want a little bit more, a little bit less. Maybe your helmet, the way it fits on your head, is slightly off-centered. So this one actually has an infinite adjust on it. That's the hinge there, and if we just vary, it's really quite smooth and it's quite firm at the same time. So I think you've got a little bit more extended range of motion there. These are certainly set up for a sort of more wider close-up, and this one, like I said, is sort of a medium range, I would say. The Spot there is a bit more of a throw, which is fine in some circumstances, but if it gets foggy, I've noticed the Spot is not as efficient as putting out the light as the Storm. So the way I've been testing this is I've been doing a lot of cycling, guys, at night. That's just because of my work schedule, but I've been having this on my cycle helmet as a kind of secondary light, backup light. A couple of times it's got me out of a pinch when my main light has failed, and this has been fantastic. And of course I can tap it if I'm going into a dark area and really illuminate everything. This has been a really, really good light. Weight's not too bad. It's almost comparable to this one with its AAA batteries, because the lithium cell is actually lighter. You can see there side by side, these two are actually quite similar, even though this one's a little bit more square and boxy. It's not too big, and again, these before, when I said they had 4 cells and what have you to get the higher output, they were really big, and it put me off, if I'm honest. But now with this 450, and I think the 500 I think has got the integrated battery, if I'm not mistaken, so I went for the 450 because I've got more battery choice, and it fits into the ecosystem that I'm used to, of having you know, like a portable cell and the option to run AAAs. And so far, everything I've done with it, it's been working really well. I know there's been some reports of some weird flickering, but I believe they've pretty much sorted it out. If you do get any issues, it's got a 3-year warranty, and from my experience with Black Diamond, their customer service is really, really good. So let's just put these down and let's just show you some of the spec sheets here. So feel free to stop and pause there. If you notice, it's got a low, medium and max. It's a bit of an interesting one actually, because like I said, it's infinitely adjustable, so you know you can get the lowest and you get to the highest, but this sort of medium setting of 200 lumens, which actually probably is quite useful. Like I said, you just need to press and hold it for a couple of seconds between the range of the dimming to get it somewhere in that mark. And to be honest with you, it's such a good light output. You can just adjust it ever so slightly if you want it slightly brighter, slightly more dim. And like I said, the battery in the runtime is really, really good. It's giving you an indication here on the lithium cell of 3 hours on max with some reserve, so that's really good. And on the lowest, you've got 165 hours with basically no reserve there at all. And then going back to alkalines, you've got slightly reduced run times, but you still get the maximum output. If you notice on alkaline, you actually get a little bit more runtime with 175 hours as opposed to 165, so that's an interesting one. And if you notice here, in sort of medium settings, you get less runtime at max, but you get more reserve, if you notice that. So that's an interesting one. And really, if you think about it, if you are using that maximum setting and you get caught out somewhere, having sort of 20 hours of reserve, that will save you. That's a couple of days walking easy, isn't it, if you have to. You got the weight there, 59 plus 33 grams with the alkalines of 92, and I believe it's ever so slightly less with the lithium cell. Now, just wrapping up, as I don't want to keep this too long, that's the package you get. It's actually quite nice, fairly simple. Obviously, all these companies nowadays are going for more eco-friendly. So you've got a simple cardboard outer with plastic inner. You get 3 AAA batteries included, and it's all nicely wrapped up in here, all safe and sound. Nice branding there, gives you all the features there with your power tap, your dimming, RGB, your lock, and proximity just means your wider beam there. So it's really cool. We cover the specs. And one other thing that's really important with headlamps is this is IP67 waterproof. Now, I've been a long-standing lover of Petzl lights. They work, they're really great, but water is not their friend. The black diamonds, like this Storm here, you've got power tap, you've got locking, you've got the multi-fuel capability, you've got this really cool like infinite hinge system there, so you can adjust it to like exactly where you want it. The straps are sort of more modern and obviously more lightweight because it's got the tapering design. It's just got a lot more features, and really the equivalent price is really close. So I think from memory I got this on an offer, and I think this was around 50 English pounds. I think that's going to be around the $60 mark, depending where you get them from, but it is an American company, so you might be able to get some better deals. You don't get the lithium battery. It does come with a little charger and a micro USB cord. This is an extra cost, but for me it's well worth it. I think this was around 20 English pounds, but again, a little bit more eco-friendly, saves you using alkalines. And I tend to use rechargeable alkalines as well, so the run times aren't quite as good. So for me, this was really important to have. Of course, you can have more than one. Of course, you can charge them up while you're up around the campfire overnight, so that's not a problem. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you got this far in the video, thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you want to keep up with the latest things we've got going on, just hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, drop a like for me. It helps me to know what you guys are feeling. Keep involved in the comment section. We have people commenting all day long, and I love to get involved with it. We've got from people being just plain funny and cheeky to some really insightful comments, so it's really good. I love to see it. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this really helps you, and if you're in the market for a really cool and good head torch, this is certainly one to consider. Yeah, guys, thanks very much, and take care.